The job of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, is ever evolving as the nature of crime is also constantly evolving. To keep abreast of happenings, the agency carries out research to determine the root causes of factors that engender human trafficking and violence against persons. You are watching NAPTIP on the Move, and I am Emmanuel Okeke. So glad to have you join us. Human trafficking entails external and internal trafficking. While external trafficking hinges on travels outside Nigeria, internal trafficking is carried out within the nation. As a source, transit, and destination country, there are human trafficking peculiarities in various states in Nigeria, but our focus today is on the sale of babies and young children, which is rampant in the southeastern part of Nigeria. What are the factors responsible for this? You will get to find out if you stay with NAPTIP on the Move.
The Public Enlightenment Department of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, has the mandate to create awareness and educate the populace on the dangers and ills of human trafficking and violence against persons. In the course of its work, through interfacing directly with the populace, discoveries that lead to further research are made and appropriate measures put in place by the agency to tackle the emerging issues. A thriving trend in the southeastern part of Nigeria is the sale of babies. The Director of Public Enlightenment, Arinze Orakwe, speaks on factors responsible for this.
The agency had over time, especially in the southeast, noticed some of these issues as it affects baby sales, the teenage pregnant girls running out of homes, and unfortunately, these are the issues that drive baby sales. Let's take, for example, one, a very religious mother, a very religious father finds out that a teenage daughter, has become pregnant. For reasons of religiosity or whatever, faith, just to avoid being shamed or embarrassed, decides that the best response to this is to drive the child away. And what happens? She becomes cherry picking for abusers or for those who want to cash in on this issue. Take her in, put her in a one home, to where the baby grows to term, and she put to bed. And upon harvesting this child, they will make her understand, don't worry, it's unfortunate that this has happened to you, but we'll clean you up and we'll make it known that nobody will know that you actually gave birth. It will give you herbs and nobody will know, your parents will know. So the child is made to hate even the child she's carrying from the serial indoctrination that she's made to go through. Not knowing the plan is to take away the child from her and now sell the baby. And also, it's also a failure of lack of proper adoption processes being oversighted and being monitored by the State Ministry of Women Affairs, the State Ministry of Health, and the Social Welfare Department. It is their responsibility so to do. They are the ones who should oversight. They are the ones who should inspect. They are the ones who should monitor. So when they fail, we have some of these problems.
Another emerging trend is the sale of human eggs for the purpose of in vitro fertilization.
Children, young girls between the ages of 18 and 24 going to laboratories and hospitals for IVF. And when they get to the laboratory, they go there and take away as many eggs that must have been gathered for that particular process. But these girls from whom these eggs are harvested are paid about 150,000, depending on the age. Anything more than 25 to 26, they are paid smaller, because the assumption is that as you age, the virility of the eggs and whatever are reduced, also because of lifestyles. And the annoying thing was that, what do these girls do with the 150,000 they get? They go to buy iPhone. The consequences are there. Who promised you that when you, because of the lifestyle that we have right now, when you actually need those eggs, that you have them? Okay, people, you see them going to sell their eggs 1, 2, 3 times in a year. There is nothing more dangerous than that.
Increase in the sale of babies is also tied to cultural inhibitions towards legal adoption.
So we have a culture, not just in the Southeast. The assumption is that there is no quicker way to announce that you are not a complete man by adopting a child. So it has made adoption something that the society is disgusted with. It has made adoption something, if not even a fallback mechanism. It is something, it must be something that will be done under the radar, under the cover of darkness. So those women that have this problem, either not to shame their husband, who have somehow will decide not to even subject themselves to medical checks to know where the problem lies. So the woman now decides to go and secure this child illegally, not through the normal process of adoption. So she goes to these homes where these girls have been, who for reasons of misadventure of romance, are kept. And they line her up with giving her some herbs that she will blow up her stomach, making it look like she's pregnant. While ordinarily she's not pregnant, it's those herbs that she's taking. The thing is done in such a way that it lines up with the period when this girl, the child who has been harvested as a result of being driven away from her homes, will give birth. And you see the woman going to take the child and go home to announce to the world that she gave birth. A friend of mine who is a pastor actually told me that in his church, there was a case of a woman who came for Thanksgiving. And some of her mates were telling her, yeah, this one a correct baby, not be the one where they go buy. So that shows you that this is common. It's a common trend that is noticed, and people know, and people don't want to tell. Adoption is such a beautiful thing. But why are we not able to go through the process? Well, I've had issues, people complaining that the process and the part is tedious and is tortuous. But if we forget that it's a child, it's a human being. You're not going to buy a car. Neither are you going to buy a piece of chattel. So the process has to be tedious, because it takes some time, because they need to check you to make sure that, one, you have all the provision that enables you are qualified to be a father, or you're qualified to be a parent. It's not every full-grown man that is a parent. Amongst them, there are abusers, there are pedophiles, there are violent people, there are psychopaths, there are all manner of human beings parading who are not just 40 years, they are 50 years, they are 60. It's not just localized in Nigeria, it's happening all over the world.
The Director of Public Enlightenment, Arinze Orakwe, shares a story.
The particular and very refreshing one, the latest one, was this issue of a young girl who became pregnant. And the mother noticed that the young daughter is every morning has this problem of morning sickness, and is vomiting and coughing and whatever. And beat and trashed this girl about. And what happened? The girl fled from home into the arms of people who wanted to take away the baby from her, and subjected her to this series of indoctrination that your baby shouldn't be your problem, it's our problem. We'll keep you in a place where you'll be safe and where you'll be good. For 9 months, when the baby came to term, the child gave birth, and they gave her 100,000 naira and let her go. She went home, only to go and proudly announce to her mother, you said I was pregnant, when I wasn't pregnant. An old woman, being who she is, knew that her child has given birth. Raised the alarm and called out the neighborhood and said, please come and help me beg this child. It's okay, fine, stay with me. I will not beat you anymore. Tell me where you went. Let me go and get the baby. It's my baby. After lots of persuasion and whatever, the child agreed. And they drove down to Aba. When they got to the hospital, they met the medical director. And I said, please, this child gave birth here. In the first response, well, there was no such thing happen. The girl said, no, I gave birth. It was on this bed. The man now suddenly, as if wisdom came back. He said, oh yes, I remember. But the child has a jaundice. The mother said, okay, I know the child is in incubator. Can I have the child? Let me embrace the child, then I'll give the child back to you. The medical doctor went in, took another baby from another woman that just gave birth to come to present to this mother, who quickly snatched the baby and bagged the baby and was about to go out when the real mother came and said, no, this is my baby. Fight ensued. Police came into the matter, and NAPTIP eventually came into the matter. So ours was to let parents know there's a thin line between losing your child and your so-called religiosity. At the end of the day, the whole salad of these so-called abysmal issues that are trending right now falls down to failure of good parentage.
He then charged relevant state agencies responsible for adoption to perform their duties and also advised parents to be on the lookout.
Like the adoption proper is a state responsibility. It is their responsibility so to do. They are the ones who should oversight. They are the ones who should inspect. They are the ones who should monitor. So when they fail, these criminals see them, they latch onto it and begin to exercise their illegality that they do in those domains. And also for parents, I remember Frank Olise in those good old days and said, do you know where your children are? So do you know as parents, do you know what your children do? At the end of the day, the whole salad of these so-called abysmal issues that are trending right now falls down to failure of good parentage. Because we are too busy chasing money. We are too busy doing the things we do. We don't know what our children do. We don't even check the kind of phones that they are using and see. Many children now are hooked on pornography. There's incest going on in our society. It's increasing. The number of reports, both in the police, of parents, of that fathers abusing their own daughters is on the increase. What are the drivers of this? And this is the whole mix. Because at the end of the day, the people who are the receiving end are the children and they're minors and they cannot defend themselves. Part of the reasons why the Director General of NAPTIP, Dame Julia Okadonli, is asking the state government to please, as a matter of urgency, adopt the Violence Against Persons Act, because that will help. And when did our society adopt this idea of not being our neighbor's keeper? Why are we not knowing what our neighbors are doing? Why will you come into a house and you have 6, 7 young girls all pregnant at the same time? What is happening? Is there maternity? What's going on? Why are people not telling?
The sale of innocent, voiceless babies is an aberration that must be stopped when everyone plays their part. Join NAPTIP today to protect the innocent.
Human trafficking is one of the worst crimes on earth. It is a grave violation of your human rights. The victims of human trafficking are majorly women, youths, children, and men who may never live to tell the story. These victims could be your wife, daughter, mother, sister, brother, child, or relative. No one deserves to be trafficked. NAPTIP has intensified its effort against this heinous crime. But we need your support. We need you to join this fight. Government officials, corporate organizations, traditional rulers, religious leaders, and the organized private sector have enlisted in this fight. What are you waiting for? Join NAPTIP to end this global moral epidemic now.
Report cases of human trafficking to these NAPTIP hotlines 0703 00 203 or 080 0022 5562 7848. NAPTIP, ensuring a human trafficking free nation.
The International Police Organization, Interpol, in collaboration with the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, is organizing the 6th Interpol Global Conference on Trafficking in Human Beings and Smuggling of Migrants. The conference brings together participants from over 190 countries, top government functionaries, chief executive officers of crime-fighting agencies, foreign embassies in Nigeria, and other relevant stakeholders on trafficking in persons to discuss current challenges in the fight against human trafficking. The 4-day conference from the 24th to 27th of September, which is the first of its kind in Africa, will be flagged off by the President of Nigeria, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, on Monday, the 24th September 2018 in Abuja. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. NAPTIP, ensuring a human trafficking-free nation.
This is a call to teenagers. Abstinence is the best option. And for parents whose young daughter may come home with an unwanted pregnancy, as hard as it may bite, It's best to keep an eye on her rather than to push your daughter into the den of traffickers. For young ladies selling all their eggs, you may not have them when you most need them, so let us all act wisely. NAPTIP Events is next. Keep watching. As part of our efforts to prevent human trafficking through sensitization and advocacy visits, the Director General of NAPTIP, Dainjili Okadonli, delivered a lecture titled Mass Exodus of Youths and National Development, a Case of Nigeria, Libya, Europe Migration Trend at the 2018 ONUICA Nigeria Annual Lecture Series, which took place at Abo Community Hall in Milby in Delta State. The lecture highlighted the data of Delta State indigents involved in human trafficking and the dangers associated with it. The event, which was very well attended by traditional rulers, political actors, religious leaders, civil society organizations, men and women groups, youths, members of the NURTW, and other stakeholders from all communities that make up ICA nationalities, members of the State and National Assembly, including the State Governor, His Excellency, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Otta Okowa, who in his speech commended the Director General of NAPTIP for her tireless work and promised to join NAPTIP to end human trafficking in Delta State.
If we work with our hands and we are committed to it, with the fear of God, we will do well. So we must make up our mind. When you work hard with your own hand, there is a future for you. It could take time, but there is a future for you. And our parents must know that they have a role to play. We understand that the country, the nation Nigeria today is difficult. There is no doubt. But many of these countries will seek to also go to our worse than Nigeria. So we must be careful with decisions we take and the actions that we take. Some children that we have trained and eventually given them starter packs. Some in agriculture, some in other skills. A few of them have sold their starter packs only to seek to go to Libya or other places. We will, by God's grace, partner with the DG to ensure that they will lead the campaign against trafficking across the state in the name of Jesus.
High point of the event was the induction of the Director General of NAPTIP into the Ika Nation by dressing her with Akwa Ocha, the Onuika traditional attire. Partnership with the Delta State government is pivotal as the state ranks second in the list of human trafficking endemic states in Nigeria. The Director General of NAPTIP, Dainjili Okadonli, recently received the United Nations Special Rapporteur on Human Trafficking, Maria Grazia Giamarinaru, and members of her delegation from the Office of the High Commission for Human Rights in Geneva.
As the Special Rapporteur on Trafficking in Persons, I report to the Human Rights Council and to the General Assembly of the UN on the situation of trafficking worldwide and on anti-trafficking action. Anti-trafficking action is assessed by my mandate with a special focus on the protection of the rights of victims of trafficking, survivors, but also people vulnerable to trafficking.
Dainjili Okadonli then cited some of the trends in human trafficking in Nigeria.
The new trends are the movement towards the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Oman, Egypt, for domestic servitude, organ harvesting. In the course of domestic servitude, a lot of them are used for sexual exploitation, and some of them organs are taken from them, and some of them are killed as well. We're also looking at orphanage trafficking. There's a lot of trafficking going on in the orphanages as well. We're looking into orphanage trafficking, and of course, if we find anyone wanting, we shut them, seal them up, arrest the owners, and and rescue the children.
She then called for better collaboration with destination countries
to curb irregular migration and human trafficking. And of course, we also want a situation where the destination countries will also prosecute the main gang members who are really domiciled in the destination countries and obviously not in the countries of origin. The countries of destination need to take charge and take responsibility and ensure that they begin to arrest and prosecute the kingpins who are domiciled in the destination countries and share information with Nigeria.
The first visit of the current UN Rapporteur on human trafficking was very interactive as various issues bordering on the Nigerian peculiarities in fighting human trafficking, sheltering and empowerment of victims was discussed. To end the 2018 General August Women Conference in Enugu State, the NAPTIP Enugu State Zonal Commander, Comfort Aboko, and her team joined the wife of the Governor of Enugu State, Her Excellency Monica Ugochi Ugwanyi, to tour the 3 senatorial zones of the state to sensitize the rural women on the dangers of human trafficking, child labor, child abuse, and organ harvesting. The NAPTIP Zonal Commander, Comfort Aboko, spoke extensively on the dangers of child trafficking, child abuse, and sale of persons which thrives in the southeastern part of Nigeria. She also warned that anyone found guilty will not go unpunished. To curb the rising tide of human trafficking, prostitution, and irregular migration, the NAPTIP Lagos State Zonal Commander, Kehinde Akomolafe, in collaboration with the Lagos State Government through the State Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons Southwest Office embarked on a month-long sensitization and awareness campaign tagged Awareness on Prostitution, Human Trafficking in the 5 Ibile divisions of Lagos State. The Lagos State Commissioner, Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, was represented by the Director Legal, Barrister Oluwatoyin Odusonya, who spoke on victim exploitation by human traffickers, the importance of sensitization as well as empowerment and vocational training, especially for female victims. The NAPTIP Zonal Commander, Kehinde Akomolafe, enlightened participants at the various Ibile centers on the promises of jobs abroad to lure victims for sexual exploitation, domestic servitude, and organ harvesting. She also enjoined the participants present to enlighten others on the ills of human trafficking and irregular migration. The Southwest Coordinator of NCFRMI, Margaret Ukebu, also spoke on the predicament of Nigerians stranded in transit and some destination countries due to fake and expired documents. The sensitization was interactive as the participants sought to gain more insight on the ills of human trafficking and irregular migration. Affirming statements against human trafficking was made by the participants. Sensitization and public enlightenment are essential tools in the eradication of human trafficking.
The International Police Organization, Interpol, in collaboration with the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, is organizing the 6th Interpol Global Conference on Trafficking in Human Beings and Smuggling of Migrants. The conference brings together participants from over 190 countries, top government functionaries, chief executive officers of crime-fighting agencies, foreign embassies in Nigeria, and other relevant stakeholders on trafficking in persons to discuss current challenges in the fight against human trafficking. The 4-day conference from the 24th to 27th of September, which is the first of its kind in Africa, will be flagged off by the President of Nigeria, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, on Monday, the 24th September 2018 in Abuja. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. NAPTIP, ensuring a human trafficking-free nation. For more enquiries and support or to report cases of suspected human trafficking and child abuse, please call NAPTIP hotlines on 0703 0000203 or 0800 2255 627847 or email info@naptip.gov.ng. Visit our website www.naptip.gov.ng. follow us on our social media platforms at NAPTIP Nigeria and watch our videos on YouTube.
We've come to the end of today's episode. I hope you have learned something new. Please support NAPTIP by reporting suspected cases of human trafficking, child abuse, and all forms of violence against persons. The NAPTIP iReport app makes it a lot easier. I hope to see you again, same time next week. I am Emanuela Okeke. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.